Welcome back to the Lovin Dubai show, where we go through the top trending stories that everyone across the country is talking about. Our top story for you today: 4 Dubai metro stations are still closed due to the floods.
As well, RAK will be home to the world's largest casino. Of course, you would not want to miss that.
The local foodie who praises no-show restaurant fees.
As well, a rare wild animal was spotted in Fujairah.
And later on in the show, we are back with Mr. Golden Visa, giving you tips on Golden Visa and business setup in Dubai. You don't want to miss it.
It's 213 days since the genocide began in Gaza on October 7, and the death toll has risen up to 34,735. The number of injured people is 78,108, while 1.9 million people have been displaced from their homes.
In today's weather, it's sunny and hot. Temperatures are shooting up to 39 degrees Celsius. Get your sun cream out, even if you're indoors, because apparently that still affects your skin. Before we jump into our top stories, it is Met Gala morning, so we could not begin the show without giving a moment to Anna Wintour's epic fashion gala. Take place every year, and it is the fashion night of the year.
I agree. I woke up and my For You page on TikTok was filled with Met Gala dresses and content creators judging them, and I'm like, why are we judging them? Can we even dress like them?
So true. I'm watching something Cheer. It's the cheerleading show on Netflix at the moment, and you're sitting at home, and I'm like eating snacks, and I'm judging a 16-year-old's like 3-turn 180 tumble, and I'm like, I don't know if she landed that one. But here we have like literally the best designers, the best fashion on show. What was the theme this year?
So the theme was Sleeping Beauties. However, the dress code was the Garden of Time, which, by the way, Anna Wintour kind of like apologized for the confusion, because of course, you would be confused too if the theme is one thing and the dress code is another thing. Maybe she both rated them together, because she did say that the theme Sleeping Beauties, she chose that because she wanted it to be poetic and beautiful, which, by the way, it is poetic. It's gorgeous. I was like, wow. And the theme is beautiful, and as well the dress code was beautiful. I think they both like correlate together in a way.
I agree. I think they're pretty similar, to be honest.
Oh, yeah.
And it's not like there's anyone dressed as a Sleeping Beauty. They're all kind of follow the garden theme. Very quickly, favorite, best and worst looks of the Met Gala 2024.
So, if you know me, you will know that my favorite look is Lana Del Rey.
We have her on the next slide, actually. Masa, can we go to the next one? Because we have Lana's look. She's kind of, though, she's actually on our main feed. We kind of poked fun at her outfit.
No, she's gorgeous because like she wanted to be the tree, right? And look at like the branches of the tree, and then
you look like her.
I mean, and look at
I can literally see it. It is an amazing dress.
Yeah, I would for sure wear that. And by the way,
it's just a bit distracting.
It is, but like, I don't know, just because like maybe I love her and I do get that fact that I look like her a lot. So I'm like, what, since they say that, I'm like, fine, just call me Lana. And I just like, I would do anything to be her. Even if she dresses something that I don't like, just because I really do like her and like her music as well.
You like
and
her
as a person. Yeah. So I just like, I would wear that.
So best, what about worst?
Okay, so I know that many might not agree with me, including you. I don't like Kylie Jenner's.
Interesting.
Yeah, because it's like basic.
I thought it looked really plain at the beginning, but actually when I looked closer at it, I thought that the shape and the silhouette was really, really cool.
Yeah.
It's a little bit different in that it's like pointy here, and then she's got just a really beautiful, simple flower. Yeah. But I also agree with you that one of the Kardashians was my least favorite look. Do we have her? No, I don't have it. Kim.
Kim, yeah.
And I love Kim, but I just feel like she didn't knock it out of the park in terms of the theme. And I sometimes think her looks can be a little bit samey. And I think it was Amanda Seyfried. She had an interview this morning on the red carpet, and she said, last year I looked like myself at the Met Gala, and that's not the point.
Yeah.
And actually, Kim doesn't usually look like herself, but I just think that her looks can be quite samey. It's so suctioned in here at the waist. We've kind of seen that, and I just think she could have done something, because the theme is so cool. Like Cardi B arriving in like this wild eleganza extravaganza, and it's like, okay, so she's a garden, she's gone for it, and I just think it's the one night that you can be a garden. So cool.
I agree. As well, I was telling Casey, maybe we should have a Lovin Dubai Met Gala. Just because I would really want to dress up, you know what I mean? Like dressing up is so cool. So if you are, they're probably invited to a lot of red carpets, right? So they're so used to like the simple, I would say the regular, I don't know, gown with nothing on, like no theme there. But the Met Gala is there for a reason, because like you are there to dress up according to the theme, and the theme is there. And by the way, Anna Wintour is very strict with themes. She has over the years, I remember, kind of like put some celebrities on the blacklist of never coming to the Met Gala again for not following the theme. So I mean,
cutthroat, Anna. So cutthroat.
Yes, I mean, if you were,
it's her party. She can do what she wants.
Literally, that's what I remember her saying something like that. And if you were a fashion icon, right, and you created this gala for people to enjoy and have fun, and not only enjoy and have fun, and to just like for this like one night dress according to a theme, and they do not follow the rules, how pissed would you be?
Yeah, I just like, it's so funny because there's rules, but I think at the end of the day, we could judge this and we can talk about the politics that go into it, but it's meant to be fashion, should be fun. And, you know, there's so much like best and worst and all of that, which is a bit cruel, but actually it's meant to be fun. Gigi Hadid, Kendall Jenner never do any wrong, and they didn't, in my opinion.
That's true.
But if you're joining in for Dubai news, we do have some of that for you today as well. We're going to jump into our top story. We're talking about the metros and the latest from the RTA.
So the 4 Dubai metro stations are still closed due to the floods. Following the storm that hit the UAE on April 16th, the Roads and Transport Authority RTA has officially confirmed the continued closure for 4 Dubai metro stations. As a result, passengers are strongly encouraged to remain vigilant for regular updates regarding the status of the public transport network.
So take note, stations along the red line, Passive, Equity, Mashriq and Energy, they remain inaccessible, as I'm sure you know if you usually take them as part of your route. This has been communicated via the RTA on its social media channels.
Now, in response to this disruption, the RTA has implemented bus services to facilitate commuters in accessing destinations typically served by the affected stations. Now, these bus services aim to minimize inconvenience and ensure the continued mobility of passengers amidst the temporary closure of those key metro stations.
And we have, in fact, reached out to the RTA to understand when this disruption will end, as I think some people who are sorely affected by it, their commutes are getting a lot longer, and they just simply said, we will update you on our social channels when we have the answer for you. So we don't have an answer for people for that yet, but as and when, always follow the official channels for definite updates, because there's so many rumors that kind of tend to go around on this one. But we're jumping into a story which is not a rumor. This was announced yesterday by a smashy business. RAC will be home to the world's largest casino. We knew a casino was coming, but did we know it would be the world's largest? New photos have released of what is now said to what will become the world's largest casino in Ras Al Khaimah, according to Smashy Business.
Now, the $2 billion Wynn Marjan Island Resort will feature a casino facility larger than the Wynn and Encore Las Vegas, and of course, the build is a collaboration between Marjan and Dirac Hospitality Holding.
As we know, currently gaming is illegal. However, the UAE has an established General Commercial Gaming Regulatory Authority, that's the GCGRA, who are working between international regulatory agencies, legislators, law enforcement, and organizations devoted to developing gaming policy in the UAE and to create a socially responsible and well-regulated gaming environment for the first time ever.
Now, the resort's gaming facility is expected to attract 5.5 million tourists by 2030, which would be a huge boon for Sharjah tourism, of course, which I'm very excited for.
Very interesting. It'll be interesting to see how this all unfolds, because I know many of us are interested, but we also have questions. Our hope is it's been so incredible how the UAE has managed to welcome and attract 200 plus nationalities, different cultures, different backgrounds, different religions, different values, and we live in harmony, and it's so impeccable. And I have no doubt that with the ongoing regulation board that they will manage to do the same, because gaming is a whole other ball game. But we know that they are working. They're looking at how they can bring it in a way, as we said, that's socially responsible.
I agree with you. And as you mentioned, a very important point, how the UAE now consists of a lot of cultures, a lot of religions, and a lot of, as well, ethnicities, right? And people are coming from different backgrounds and different countries. So I think the fact that the UAE is trying to cater for everyone is kind of like, it's very cool. It's not open yet. It's going to be open very soon. But of course, this is all in line with the UAE trying to, as I said, cater to everyone.
And we're still waiting for the rules, if it will become official. Speaking of the fact that we are many countries, many nationalities, one thing that people tend to differ on is tipping. And also paying service charges. And that brings us into our next story.
So local foodie praises no-show restaurant fees. Now, local foodie known as the Bedouin Foodie has weighed in with a call for respect, with restaurants facing a staggering 25 to 30% rate of last-minute no-shows. The Bedouin Foodie emphasizes the importance of honoring reservations, of course.
So he drawed parallels to the cultural cultural etiquettes. Cultural etiquettes. Give me a minute. I'm so sorry. Observed in Japan, where making a reservation and showing up punctually is considered a cornerstone of dining out. The Bedouin Foodie contrasts this with the prevalent attitude in Dubai.
Now, in a social media post, the lament how he actually showed, he highlighted how the no-shows and last-minute cancellations have become all too common, significantly impacting the profitability of restaurants.
So the message underscores the need to value the commitment you make when booking a table and to consider the impact of your actions. Basically, if you're booking a table and you decide to cancel last minute or you don't show up, this actually isn't a rare occurrence. One of the top restaurants in Dubai said this is 25 to 30% of their business daily is impacted by this. That is significant. So therefore, if there's a charge, a fee for when you're booking, and then the question is, should restaurants charge you for not showing up?
Yes, because I'll tell you something, like the table that you are reserving might be, or like let's say canceling very last minute, might be the table that someone else could have gotten, right? And then when you are reserving the table and canceling last minute, you are actually costing the restaurant some amount of money.
100%, yeah, that's
lost,
the point,
right? And then it's like, why would you do that? It's kind of like rude. It's like if your friend invites you to her birthday and you just cannot show up, you're not gonna just like not show up. You're gonna be like, hey, sorry, I can't come. خلاص, that's it. Done story.
It really pulls in from the story that we were having yesterday of it was literally the same similar story, but it's a hair salon in Dubai. They basically said, we're going to start charging you if you don't show up, not the full amount, but maybe a 10%. Give that person money for their hour that they weren't able to work if you don't cancel within 24 hours. And it's the same thing. And how Bedouin Foodie, who we've actually had sitting in the seat before, he's an incredible, well-known, prominent foodie in Dubai. He compared it to in Japan how it's very much part of the culture that, you know, it's a sign of respect, and if you're not going, you would still very much like turning up, even if you book for 4 and turning up as 3, that's considered rude.
True. It is.
So we need to maybe add in that level of respect that like you are affecting their bottom line by not showing up. So I don't know if they can charge the full amount, but I do think it's charged per head for the no-shows.
I think honestly it depends on the restaurant and how popular it is, you know what I mean? But of course, I think it is like not only disrespecting the restaurant, but it's disrespecting someone else who wanted to take your seat initially, but then you did not show up.
No, I think it's basically the bottom line of the restaurant, because if you have booked 2 weeks out for a table of 7, they potentially have bought in food accounting for that.
That's
also,
true.
It's not about disrespect to the people that are not able to book, but it's the money that table could have brought in that you're disallowing. So it's significantly impacting the restaurant's takings if you don't show up, if you don't cancel within 24 hours. And that's what that is. But I know if you ring in, if you've got a birthday brunch and you call, you're like, hey, I'm booking for like 20 people. And they're like, okay, so we're going to charge you 100 dirham per 20 people. That's 2,000 dirham. And that goes on someone's card. And you're thinking, wow, that's significant. But actually, if you and your party, something happens urgently, inescapable, and these things can happen, if you decide to cancel and you've booked for 20 people, you have to recognize the impact. And sometimes adding a fee or adding a law or adding a rule is the only way to make people see that impact.
I 100% agree because, you know, we do often like when you are booking, let's say like a table for 10, you know, and as you said, they're getting food and a lot of things for 10. However, we kind of like, sometimes people go like, oh yeah, you know what, if there's no charge paid initially beforehand, then if someone just like they want to cancel, they're not going to show up. And that will cost, as you said, like a lot of loss for the restaurant, and not only for the restaurant, not on a business level, but as well, you know, like someone else who wanted your seats initially. Like you never know, maybe 10 could have gotten like, I don't know, 2 families.
There you go. So let's jump into our next story. A rare wild animal was spotted in Fujairah. This isn't CGI and this is not a drill. What appears to be real footage, appears to be a rare breed of wild animal loose, and this is according to Fujairah authorities.
Now, the rare animal was spotted in Fujairah and is thought to be a lynx or a curricle. Authorities are monitoring whether it is a pet or a stray from the mountain regions. Of course, it is kind of like scary if you would be like, I don't know, like walking around and you would see like a stray, I don't know.
Look at its ears.
I know. Actually, funny thing.
I've never seen that before.
Actually, funny thing, there is a lady on TikTok who has a cat that looks like that. And I was like, when I was like looking at it, I was like,
thinking about it.
And you know, this is how she hisses to her owner. She goes like, yeah, which is very scary. I'm gonna show you the video after. But yeah, and I follow her, and like the cat is actually really scary. It looks like that. So I was
okay,
like,
but this is a rare breed of wild animal. They're saying it's so Fujairah authorities. They have confirmed this. A specialist team from the environmental agency is currently checking in the presence for the animal where it was photographed and investigating whether it was owned or it's a stray animal. By the way, if it's owned by a resident, this is extremely illegal to home wild animals.
Yeah.
The authorities take this very seriously. There's huge fines imposed on people who do this. This was, you know, in the last number of years, I think the regulations have really gone strict on the ownership of wild animals. But they're saying it's a medium-sized cat, and it could jump 10 feet in the air to catch its prey.
Yeah, by the way, and I actually, you know what? Remind me after the show to show you the video.
This is that's an actual cat. This cat plays an important role in ecosystems that express. So it's good for the ecosystem of the environment here. It's native to the region, so it's not surprised that it's here. But we just really hope that once the Fujairah authorities find it, they look after it in a very lovely and wholesome way. It's just not something I would like to pass on the streets.
It even has muscles. Look at her muscles.
Have
Look at his muscles.
Have you ever seen a kangaroo in real life? How muscly they are.
Oh my God, they're scary.
They're so built.
They are. You know, there's my friend, she lives in a gated community and she has like stray cats, you know, that she feeds them all the time, which is very kind, very nice. And they all the time come to her. There's one cat, oh my God, she fights with all of the other cats and she is like muscular.
Oh.
Yeah, so...
Popping out to the CrossFit classes. So that's reported by Fujairah. It came in last night. You've probably already seen the video. If you have information or if you'd like to report other wild animal spottings or environmental complaints in Fujairah, you can do that by calling 800-368. It is now time to jump in to our next guest. He's back in studio. We're talking everything from golden visas to business setup in Dubai. We'll be with you after this very short break. Welcome back to the Lovin Dubai show. He is back with the latest updates. Yes, we're going to have an announcement on golden visas and beyond, from business setup tips to unlocking opportunities. This is the man in Dubai who turns dreams into reality. Welcome back to the show, Mr. Golden Visa. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me again.
We're so excited to have you back because of the amount of questions that came through following last week's interview.
Yes.
So,
yeah, thank you for being here again. We have a lot of questions. But first of all, I want to ask if you can share some insights from the feedback session of your latest interview.
Well, in the last interview, during the interview, apparently there were a lot of questions. And even after the interview, I got loads of messages. We got loads of phone calls. People are really curious more on the side of how the salaried people get the golden visa. Now, the process is very simple. As long as you're getting 30,000 dirham salary over the last 6 months, you have got your documents to support your education, we can apply for it. Now, it is subject to approval, which takes about 2 weeks, but 90% plus getting approved. So even the category of where you must be an executive level is kind of being ignored at the moment. On a managerial title on your visa as well, you can get a golden visa. So there are a lot of more updates coming up, and we will keep coming and giving you more.
so interesting. And just for people who weren't with us last week, can you just, why do we call you Mr. Golden Visa? Why are you the expert? Can you just give us give the audience a bit of an insight as to who you are and what you do?
Well, I just represent a team of 200 plus people. It's the golden visa actually done by a team of almost 20 people from our office. They are all experts. I just represent them. That's why they call me Mr. Golden Visa, but however, it's the team who's doing all the work. I will still, again, go through the categories. Mainly, there are 3 major ones. First, if you own a property worth 2 million and above, and you do not even need to have a down payment of 1 million anymore, even with a basic down payment, as long as you have got the sales purchase agreement from the developer and the paid invoice for the down payment, you are eligible for a golden visa. The second one, if you're salaried, you get 30,000 dirham or above, you are eligible for a golden visa. The third one is more on the investment side. If you've got a 2 million dirham bond with the bank or a fixed deposit, you do get a golden visa.
There you go.
That is very interesting.
So this is very basic, yes.
Well, aside from the golden visa, what other services does the Decisive Zone actually offer?
Well, Decisive Zone started mainly to help companies being formed in Dubai. So when I started my first business, it took me almost 40 days to figure out which jurisdiction should I go for. Shall I go for a mainland? Shall I go for a free zone? Shall I do a LLC? So there are a lot of details involved in this. That's where we have each company we set up, people do not realize, but we have got expertise of 12 to 15 people that gets involved in setting up one license to doing all the work. So that's where we are able to consult people. What activities do they need? Which jurisdiction they need to go for? Should they go for sole proprietorship, mainland company, free zone, partnership, or a limited liability company? So there are a lot of details involved in this.
There are a lot of details, but sometimes I look at places like Decisive Zone and I'm thinking I could do it, but maybe money's the obstacle. But what is the criteria that would stop me? Like, what are the restrictions when setting up a business in Dubai?
Well, restrictions, I really wouldn't say there are much restrictions other than the few compliance restriction for a few nationalities, which is worldwide, which we cannot ignore. Other than this, Dubai has opened up for all the different activities you can think of, from cryptocurrency to blockchain to trading in financial assets. Everything is open up in Dubai. Now there are, I think, more than 2,500 activities available in between all the free zones and mainland. Now, ideally, I must say that we are offering free consultancy to anyone who has got even an idea to set up a business, who has got an idea but they don't know where to start. We are doing free consultancy. We do not charge anything on top of what the free zones are charging. So we actually welcome people to just come take help from us, and if they find fit on their pricing, then only they go for it. So we are open to everyone to come and just take a consultancy. Just give us a call and take a consultancy.
Well, I think my next question to you is, I'm sure a lot of people are asking the question, is if you can break down the steps of how to set up a business.
Oh, definitely. First thing, we have to understand what business are you thinking of. Let's say you have got a passion of opening a beauty salon one day. As long as you are aware of what you want to set up, we help you to identify what is your activity that you must select on your license. Based on the activity and based on your business, we then suggest whether you should do a mainland or a free zone company formation. Now, after that, we help you depending on how many partners are involved. Is it only individual? We guide you whether you should do sole proprietorship, partnership, LLC, or a free zone. Then we help you with all the documentation, which is very basic. Initial stage, where your passport, your picture, if you have an HRE, it is required. Otherwise, we can assist you with that, and we do the form fill up, and we get you the license.
How interesting to be on the other side of it, because we always speak about how the East is the new West. People are coming here to build their dreams. Like, forget America. Like, if you want to make your fortune, you're coming to Dubai to do it. So you must be on the receiving end of the wildest business ideas. Like, can you give us like some examples of like what's past your door? Or are you just thinking, like, this guy is going to be a millionaire, or they've got no hope?
Look, Decisive Zone established 5 years ago, and we still do have so many of clients who started 5 years ago just from an idea, and they today run more than $50 million, $100 million company.
Wow.
And we run their
amazing.
books. We manage their accounting and bookkeeping, so we are aware of how businesses are growing, and this makes me feel so happy to see when they start just with an idea and they took the first step of just coming and asking question, how do we start? With our guidance, we help so many companies, and I feel so proud of our team that they guide them what is the right structure to be in place. Because of corporate tax coming in, VAT started in 2018, there are so many changes, so many moving parts. That's why we have built a team with us that we help you, we hold your hand to manage everything, where you focus only on how you can make money, which is doing your business. So we help you not only at this time of setup, we help you throughout the journey until you want to run your business. Amazing. So yes.
Well, if let's say Casey and I came up to you right now with a genius business idea.
Give me the idea.
And we are asking Decisive Zone to help us. How can Decisive Zone actually help us with our business idea, which can be applied to everyone, by the way?
We're going to do a costume store. Met Gala Dubai themed, and people come and they rent costumes for us, and we'll host parties. And
nice.
Glamorous. I like the idea. I like it. Yeah.
And there'll be like ice cream and I don't know. What's our business plan?
I like that idea.
We need the help.
We need help.
Okay, we're renting. We're gonna buy designer dresses, and we're gonna rent them out to people at a cheaper cost.
Creating a boutique, basically. That's what it is. We have done so many of the boutiques on Jumeirah Road, Al Wasl Road. We have assisted so many of them. Basically, first thing, we guide you what activity you need, which is a boutique or a retail space. Now, based on that, we can even help you with getting a boutique in certain areas in Dubai. That's your second step. Third step, we understand, now you both are partners, and we understand that you are setting up in Dubai mainland because you will sell your clothes or you will rent it out to people who's living in Dubai. So you do need a mainland license. So after this, we will need a certain documents, which is your basic passport, visa. If you have a visa, your pictures and your HRE, and then we prepare the documents and we go to the authorities and we get you the license. Now, ideally, a mainland license within 24 hours we can get you.
Wow.
Yes.
So it's basically business set up from A to Z. Question, do you need to be a resident? Because I can imagine people here might think, I've got family in Ireland, maybe they want to start a business here. What comes first, the chicken or the egg? How do you get your Emirates ID in line with starting business?
No, you do not need to be a resident in UAE. That's how all the investors or the business people coming from abroad, they come here, they come first to us. We guide them where to start, what business they need. Once we get them the license, on their license, we get them the visa, whether it's investor or a general manager. So you must not be a resident of UAE to get your trade license.
Very interesting.
Well, can you share interesting business ideas that have come across your path?
Well, today's date, a lot have changed in Gen Z, to be honest. In last 2 years, how much we have got inquiries on the blockchain and crypto-related activities, it is very interesting. Dubai is now, it is very critical area because a lot of banks are not accepting the crypto activities. However, there are ways around it, which is a blockchain. As long as you're not trading with people's money, you have got an idea of blockchain, you want to start a coin, you have got an idea to create something based on the IT side of the blockchain, Dubai is welcoming them. Now they have created an authority called VARA, which does the approval for this blockchain related activities, and we help them set up everything from A to Z.
Right before we started the official show, but Instagram, you guys were with us. You kind of teased the fact that there might be some updates coming in terms of Golden Visa. Can you share them with us now?
It is not announced, so this is just something we have got information from our own sources. But Dubai is going to make it much more, I wouldn't say easier. They will actually allow more people who are able to get Golden Visa in terms of, let's say, you may not need a degree anymore. This is not announced yet, so this stays here in media. But
Someone tell them we're live.
Dubai is becoming much more relaxing because they are attracting investors from abroad to come in bulk, and they want to set up.
So what we're saying in a subtle way is the Golden Visa laws are potentially becoming more relaxed.
Correct. Yes.
Interesting.
Which is honestly very cool. So do you think, so like let's say Casey and I want to apply for a Golden Visa now.
Yes.
All right. Is it more relaxed than what you said last time?
Yes, it is getting more relaxed.
Okay.
We did some setup in last 1 week, which I was not aware that we could do, and they got approved. So yes, it is becoming more relaxed. The first change which we felt in last 1 month, which has happened, is the degree certificate must not be required. Even if you have got diploma, we can go through the ministry, get a special approval done, and it is possible now.
It's very interesting how things could change kind of quietly, and an announcement may not come, but you could still maybe have the consultation, put forward your documents, and you never know.
Yeah, well, Dubai is updating their system every day. That's why our team always doing their research to stay up to date and then update our clients. So that helps people to know up-to-date knowledge from us rather than just from the authority, because everything is not announced in public, right?
So there's so many comments and questions coming through on the live, and we unfortunately don't have time to run through them all because we've come to the end of the show.
Can drop me a message.
So if you're watching on Instagram right now and your question has not been answered, how can they get in touch?
They can get in touch with Decisive Zone on Instagram, decisivezone.ae, or they can go through my Instagram as well, IMDP007.
Brilliant. Thank you as always for delivering some insightful information that I know we could all use. That brings us to the end of the show. Farah, thank you so much for being here. And thank you again, Mr. Golden Visa. We'll see you tomorrow morning.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Oh.